Welcome back to the David Pakman Show. I'm Farron Cousins from Ring of Fire, sitting in for David Pakman today. You can follow me on Twitter at Farron Balanced. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook at that same handle, at Farron Balanced. We've got a little bit more Trump news to talk about today because the man got a little bit more bad news yesterday. And that bad news came in the form of a court ruling by Judge Amit Mehta, who said that, "I'm sorry, Donald and Trump administration, but I'm not going to block the Democrats' request to get your financial documents." Now, if you rewind the clock, about a week ago, when the Trump administration made these arguments in court in front of Judge Mehta at the time basically told Trump's lawyers that your arguments don't hold any water, because the Trump lawyers were trying to say Democrats can't request Donald Trump's financial documents because it's not related to any legislation that they're trying to pass. And Congress's job, as we all know, is only to pass legislation. And the judge said, it's not, no, really, it's not. That's not how the separation of powers work. They actually also have oversight authority of the executive branch. And so this would fall within the things they're legally allowed to do, even if it's not related to legislation. But then the judge said, but listen, I understand the importance of this. And I'm going to weigh both sides of the arguments. I'm going to look at all the evidence, and I'm going to take some time before I hand down this ruling because I don't want to rush it. That was the mature, responsible, professional, and legally correct thing for this judge to do. And then Monday, hands down the ruling, he says, yeah, Republicans, I thought about it and listened. Your arguments, they were garbage. They don't work. They don't hold up. It flies in the face of the separation of powers. And so, yes, therefore, the Democrats 100% can get their hands on Donald Trump's financial records. Now, Trump immediately got angry. He told reporters he's going to appeal it. And he's furious that this Obama-appointed judge, he kept calling him an Obama-appointed judge. In fact, at one point he said it was a recently appointed Obama judge. Recently. So I guess Obama came out of retirement while Trump was president to go ahead and just appoint this judge. The guy's been out of office for 2.5 years. That's not exactly recent, Trump. But nonetheless, yeah, Obama did appoint this judge. And this judge 100% did what any normal, well-respected person who understands the law would do, and they smacked down your lawyers because their argument was absolute garbage. You know, there is one theme that's developing throughout the Trump administration, and we've seen it unfold very publicly, and that is the fact that this man has some of the worst lawyers imaginable. I mean, think about it. Michael Cohen, he's in jail now, and he will be for the next 3 years. Rudy Giuliani, that man actually went on TV multiple different times and implicated Donald Trump in crimes. And that was supposed to be his client. Jay Sekulow, well, we all know the story that emerged yesterday. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the bonus show. But Jay Sekulow apparently ordered Michael Cohen to lie to Congress. And then you have these bonehead lawyers who go into court acting like they don't understand the roles that Congress constitutionally has. And the judge has to say, listen, you don't seem to understand how Congress works, but they're allowed to do this. So yeah, Trump clearly has a history of hiring horrible people to be his lawyers. And to that I say, please continue this. It's a lot of fun watching your lawyers go into court and reading these filings and seeing how clueless they are and how desperate they are to protect whatever it is you're hiding. So please continue to hire from the bottom of the barrel because it's making life for the rest of us so much more entertaining. But to the actual ruling, right? I mean, not just the ruling from the judge, but what it means. It means, as of right now, but of course Trump's going to appeal it, Democrats could get their hands on the financial records. And the big question is obviously, what the heck is Donald Trump hiding? You know, he also claimed after going after this, quote, Obama-appointed judge, that he has had the most transparent administration in history. He's either completely delusional or he thinks everybody in this country is an absolute idiot if he thinks he can get away with saying that. We can't see his grades from college or high school. We can't see his medical records. We can't see his tax returns. We can't see his financial records. We can't see his business holdings. There is nothing transparent about Donald Trump except his hair. But nonetheless, he is hiding something. That much is pretty obvious, right, folks? You don't go through all of this effort. You don't threaten to sue schools if they release your grades if you're not trying to hide something. You don't fight congressional subpoenas in court unless you're trying to prevent Congress from seeing something you don't want them to see. The big question is, what is he hiding? Is he hiding bank fraud? Well, Representative Ted Lieu made a pretty strong case during Michael Cohen's testimony to Congress that Donald Trump committed bank fraud. And based on the cooperation that Deutsche Bank has had so far with congressional Democrats, it seems pretty obvious that he inflated his net worth in order to secure a loan. That's fraud. You can't do that. Is there potential money laundering? Well, again, the folks at Deutsche Bank really seem to think that there was, not just with Trump, but with Jared Kushner. So there's that. But I think the biggest thing this man wants to hide, because I think he thinks he can get away with any criminal activity, that doesn't bother him. Never has, never will. This is a man who's gotten away with quite literally everything for his entire life. But what he can't get away with is destroying his reputation. I think these financial documents would tell us that Donald Trump does not have as much money as he says he has. And if that were to be the case, that would absolutely destroy the image that he has spent his entire life crafting. And there's no coming back from that. You know, he could do his best to lie his way out of criminal activity. He's already lied his way out of the fact that he lost all that money, you know, trying to say that, oh, no, it was just you kind of write these numbers and it's almost fraud, but it's totally not fraud. And everybody did it except I didn't actually do that. So he did lose the money. All he did was just spew out a bunch of words, further confusing the public. And suddenly everybody split on whether or not the man did lose the money or if he committed fraud or if he did pay taxes or what the hell's going on. Nobody knows. So he thinks he can lie his way out of criminal activity is all I'm trying to say. But he can't lie his way out of the fact that he may not have as much money as he wants us to think he does. And that would destroy him. It wouldn't end his presidency, but it would absolutely deliver a blow to his ego that I do not know this man would ever be able to physically and emotionally overcome, because that is the thing that matters the most to him. Yes, this man loves money more than I have ever seen a human being love money. But that money is what made that ego. And if we find out that the money's not there, then suddenly his lifetime of lies creating this facade comes crumbling to the ground. And this man would never be able to recover from that.